Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Clickbait and Coffee. Let's see who is going to jump in here this morning. I know it's always like 30 seconds or some kind of crap before it all starts up. So once we get somebody in here, we will start going to town with this. If anybody's in the chat, tell me if my audio and video is good. Give me a 2x4, and we'll start this joker up in a minute. While we are waiting, let's look and see what the weather's going to do today. I hadn't even looked. It was cool this morning when I was outside earlier. Come on. My stupid app is not working on my phone. Miss Sharon, good morning. How are you? All right. Apparently it's not going to work, so we don't know what the weather's going to do today. Miss Sharon, how are you feeling? I saw that you had some kind of surgery or something, didn't you? I know we have missed you in here, and I'm glad you're back. Let me see. All right, it is 64 right now. High of 86 today. All right. All right, we got some people in here. Let's start this thing up. And Miss Sharon, still can't see chat good, but I'm here. I am glad you are doing better, and I'm glad to have you back. We have missed you for sure. I appreciate it. Rose, good morning from Central Indiana. Greg Skeens is here. Good morning. Forrest from Alabama is here. Good morning, Forrest. And Bill Warner's the last one in the chat so far. Bill, good morning. Cataracts, Miss Sharon. Cataracts. I get my other eye done next Thursday. Well, I hope everything goes good for you, Miss Sharon. I saw where you'd posted it, and I forgot what you had posted, but I remember reading it. But I'm glad you're doing good on that. And I hope everything goes good next Thursday, and I hope you can start seeing better. So, guys, what did everybody do? What is today? Today's Friday. Yeah, today's Friday. Guys, what have y'all got planned for the weekend? You're welcome, Miss Sharon. What have y'all got planned for the weekend? Big plans? I've got some stuff I've got to do around here. I've got to get bookcases finished painted. I've got to sand those jokers down, get the finish coats on all those things. That is my project for that's my project for Saturday. And then Lincoln, my youngest one, we're having his friends for a birthday party. We're all going to an escape room, it's like a kid's escape room, and then we're going to Chewy's to eat. So I think there's 5 or 6 kids going to go with us. We're going to do that Saturday afternoon, Saturday night. So we're going to do some of that, and that's my plans for Saturday. Today I've got to go after this. I've got to run meet the cabinet guy and take my brother, and we got to go pick out stain or paint colors or whatever. He's got to decide if he wants to do stained or painted cabinets. So we're going to pick all that stuff out today and get those jokers ordered, because it's usually about I think he said right now 6 to 8 weeks on getting cabinets. So I'm like, that's going to work. So, and then Rose is talking about Miss Sharon, understand, had both them done on the same day. My dad had some cataract surgery years ago, and it seemed to help him. So I hope everything goes good for you, Miss Sharon. All right, guys, today, title of this is, What Can You Do About It? We're going to talk about some of the things that have been going on. There's been a lot going on. My take on some of this stuff, and what can we do about it? But first, we've got a few other things we're going to talk about. And then L2 Survive, good morning. And then, yeah, President Trump is announcing on Fox News right now that they caught the guy who killed Charlie Kirk. Yeah, I had Fox News pulled up and saw where he was talking about it. We're going to get into that a little bit. I don't know, personally with me, I know a lot of people are talking about it. It seems like everybody and their mom's talking about it. I'm not going to try to make hay and get views and subscribers and all that stuff by talking about it. one of those things. Yes, the guy has been assassinated essentially. I feel bad for his family. I know he's got his wife and 2 kids. They don't have a husband and a dad anymore. It's a horrible situation, but we'll kind of jump into that here in just a little bit. And Miss Sharon, I tried to get them both done, but they wouldn't. All right. Well, hopefully it'll go good for you, Miss Sharon. And then Bill, I got good news the other day. My neighbor is selling and moving. She has 13 laying hens, a turkey hen that's laying, and a dog that she needs. Phil, we're going to take good care of. I'm preparing for them. Hey, that's cool. So you're getting 13 hens, a hen turkey, and a dog. That's cool. Hopefully, I mean, that's cool that all that, but then that she's moving sounds like a good neighbor. It always stinks when you got good neighbors that move away. So, all right. We'll get in on the main topic here in just a minute. All right. Combat midwife. I have not taken it off the website yet. We've not got something came up. We don't have enough people for the combat midwife class. And kind of Jessica, the combat midwife, her thing on it is if we don't have enough people by like 4 to 5 weeks out, her policy is typically to move the class to a later date. So right now, the class was going to be on, when was it? November or October 25th. We're going to push it out until the springtime. So as of right now, that class is canceled. I'm going to take it off the website this afternoon when I get a chance. But so don't worry about it anymore. So we're going to move it till springtime and see what we can do about that. But we do still have the land navigation class is going to be amazing. Mike Atkins is going to come down and teach that. It's a 2-day class, November 8th and 9th. It's up at Barren River Lake at the state park. 2-day class. We do have a promo going for it. So if you want to know the promo, get on the email list and we can hook you up with the promo for that. You can sign up for the email list at the website, and Miss Sharon has dropped it in the chat. Thank you, Miss Sharon. But that's going to be a 2-day class. First day, we're going to be in the classroom. Mike is going to be teaching all your map reading skills, everything about maps, all how to use the compass, how to do all that, how to set your route and all that good stuff. And then on Sunday, we're going to be outside all day, actually going through the course that he's setting up. It's going to be fun. I'm excited about that joker. Also, and then Leslie with the School of Earth and All, she's going to be down, or she's going to be up. She's coming from Nashville. She's going to be up December 6th to do an advanced or beyond the basics of herbalism with us. And that's going to be in Bowling Green at the same place that we have the festival at Western. So excited about that. You can get your tickets at the website, and it's going to be fun. So I don't know. I'm more excited about the land nav class than the herbal stuff, honestly. I won't lie. But it'll be a good time. And let me see. Bill says everything that goes with them is all ours. Hey, that's extra good. You can't beat that. That is like a jackpot right there. I see Bill says a couple of years ago she gave us 2 4x10 raised beds and 2 Vivor chicken coops. Man, that sounds like an awesome neighbor to have for sure. Chantel, I'm here and awake, I think. Chantel, grab you some coffee and get you awake. I've already had some coffee this morning, but I'm drinking liquid IV right now. So down in that, I usually drink one of those every morning. The electrolytes, yes, it's got sugar and some other crap in it, but I like it. It makes me in the morning. Usually I'll drink it in the morning before I head off to work or before I do too much. And I like the stuff. It makes me feel better, and I can tell a difference after I chug one of those. It's like, hey, we're ready to go. Nathaniel Bowman, good morning. How are you? What plans have you got for the weekend? So Bill's getting all kinds of free stuff from his neighbor that's moving. So maybe you got a neighbor that's moving, you're going to get a bunch of free stuff. Bill says, I finished coffee and having breakfast. I have not had breakfast yet. Honestly, I'll probably skip breakfast this morning and then go on and do all the cabinet stuff. And then I'll probably eat an early lunch. Let's see. Nathaniel, you're training. What kind of training are you doing? So I'd be interested to see that. L2 survive electrolytes. That's what plants crave. Well, I guess I might be a plant on this one because I like having my electrolytes, but I tell you what, I'm a stinking meat eater, that's for sure. Lawrence, good morning. Lawrence must be not doing too much. If he's probably just supervising the guys that are laying block and brick today. So, and then Greg, a pinch of coffee grounds between the cheek and gums. Yes. Or you could get one of your Zen packets, or you could get your Grizzly out. So, let me see. Nathaniel, pew pew with the tribe. That sounds fun. So I need to get out and shoot a little bit. I've not shot in a while. I need to get that thing behind me. I need to get that joker out and shoot it here in a little while. I might, if I can get all my painting done on Saturday and before the birthday party, we might jump in there and do a little pew pews. And and yeah, Lawrence, I'm correct. Lawrence just sits around and supervises all the time, I think. Chantel, I don't drink coffee, but Mountain Dew. Man, I have not had a Mountain Dew in forever. And when I was drinking stuff like that all the time, I was a mellow yellow guy. I could not stand Mountain Dew, but I could drink the snot out of mellow yellow, and that's what I drank all the time. I would drink 2 or 3 of those a day when I was younger. Hey, the Russell Homestead is here. We're still working on the outdoor kitchen or outdoor butchering canning kitchen. I saw some pictures of that. And guys, if you want to go check it out, I'll tell you what, Russell Homestead, they came to the festival in July. They talked to William, and from the looks of it, she spent all weekend talking to William because they have been making compost like nobody's business. I've been watching the videos on Facebook and everything. They've got the compost kicking, and then they're building their outdoor butchering and canning kitchen. It's looking cool. The last pictures I saw, it's going to be a pretty nice stinking place. So run over there on Facebook and give them some love and check it out. But that compost, I saw some videos of the compost, and that stuff looked freaking amazing. So, all right, guys. First aid kits and medical supplies, everything's in stock, ready to go out. If you need any of that, run over to the website and check it out. Also, pre-programmed radios. All our radios are on the shelf. We've got a ton of those sitting here, ready to program for your area, and then also ready. Those radio kits come with a consultation. So Brian and Susan with S&B Homestead Radio are doing our consultations with us. So once you buy that radio and get it shipped to you, Brian and Susan will book a 30-minute video consultation with you to show you actually how to use that radio. Yes, it's cool to have a pre-programmed radio for your area, but if you don't know how to use the thing, it doesn't really matter. So Brian and Susan are going to walk you through basic stuff on there and show you how to use that joker, whether it's one of the handhelds or one of the base stations. You can't go wrong with that. Brian and Susan are a wealth of knowledge and know what they're talking about on the radio stuff as far as using that. I've got my general license. I could do a consultation if you wanted to, but Brian and Susan really like doing that. And I'm like, if you want to do it for us, we will let you do it for sure. Brian and Susan have got their extra license. They probably know a little bit more than me, but with me having my general, I can get through most anything with it. Brian is up on some of the newer models. So I'm happy to have him do that. And let's see. Forrest, Been living like a bachelor for 3 weeks. My wife will be back on Tuesday, so lots of cleaning and laundry. Hey, I know the same thing. It's like if my wife is gone for like a day or two, and it's me and Lincoln here, it's like I'm always like, call me when you're close, and then Lincoln and I do like a mad dash of 30 minutes of cleaning the house and doing dishes and picking everything up just so it doesn't look horrible. But yes, Forrest, I know that feeling. You better get to work on that deal. Let me see. And Bill, has anyone ever tried pine needle sugar water ferment? Apparently, it's like a Sprite after sitting in the fridge for 4 days. Bill, I have not tried that. It sounds kind of cool. I'll have to ask Leslie about that. And Leslie does all that cool stuff. She's made some freaking awesome substitutes for coffee and stuff like that before. Uh, she did some kind of tea at the last herbal class that she taught for us. Did a couple different teas, and those things were freaking awesome. I was like, this is good stuff. Show me how to make it. And then, let me see. Chantal says, I do drink a coffee substitute called Perro. Looks, smells, and fixes you up like coffee, but it's barley, chicory, and rye. I've seen a lot of people do chicory for as a substitute for coffee, but but I've not ever done that. I drink coffee a fair amount, but I'm not like one of these diehard coffee people that it's all they drink is coffee, coffee, coffee. My dad would probably drink a pot of coffee every day, so I'm not that hardcore on it, but I do drink coffee a fair amount. And let me see. Andrew Massey, shadow banned today. No notification this morning for the live show. That does not surprise me. And everybody talks about shadow bans all the time and stuff like that. And, we're getting shadow banned. I'm just a small channel. I don't know if they shadow ban or not. I couldn't tell you, but I do know. And me and one of my friends were talking about this yesterday. It's like I can come on and give you good information on homesteading, preparedness, stuff like that. Give you real life stuff that you can use, just like some of the other channels do. A lot of these channels will give you great information, and YouTube will not push it out. But I tell you what, if a girl gets on here in a bikini or some kind of lingerie and shows her boobies, and has those halfway hanging out, man, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, everything like that will pump that out, and it's like sex sales. And yes, sex sales. I told my buddy, I was like, I'm too ugly to do the sex thing. And he started laughing. He was like, I don't want to be doing the sex thing. And I'm like, hey, I'm right there with you. But yeah, they probably shadow ban most of the prepping and homesteading channels, unless you're on there, buy these 10 things or you're going to die tomorrow. So, which is kind of funny. It's like, buy these 10 things or you're going to die. Everybody's going to die regardless of whether you buy those 10 things or not. Nobody's getting out of here alive. So, and L2 survives. Some Johnny Walker will help that cough. It'll also help with no cough. Exactly. So I don't know. Sometimes in the morning I get choked up, and you got to clear all that crap out. So, and then yes, and Miss Sharon put up Russell Homestead their link for their Facebook. And then let's see. I actually just started coffee seeds in the greenhouse. It'll take 3 or 4 years before it's harvest time. I'm going to give it a try. That's cool. I wonder if you could do coffee trees in Kentucky. I'll be interested. I want to know updates on that. So I guess if you keep the things warm enough in the greenhouse, it should be fine. So I want to try. My wife wants to do some citrus trees. When I get the greenhouse all finished up and ready to go, we're going to get some citrus trees and try doing some of that stuff in the greenhouse. And then Nathaniel, yeah, totally agree about the shadow banning. Lots of other creators have seen a tick below normal in views. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. Sometimes, and the funny thing is, like, you will do a video and have like an amazing thumbnail on it, and you're like, man, this thing is going to be awesome. It's going to hit. It's going to go viral, and we're going to be pulling our hair out and running around crazy with 3 million subscribers and all this stuff. And it's like, goes in the pot, like 24 views. So it is what it is. I don't care. YouTube is not a get rich quick scheme. Hell, I'm not even monetized on YouTube yet. So, and I've been doing this, I think 3 years now, and I'm not fully monetized. So it is what it is. I don't really care. I like getting on here and talking to y'all and giving y'all some information and what I think about stuff going on. So that's why we're here. And Newman, 111 degrees in the armpit of Africa. Newman, we are, when I checked just a minute ago, we're at like 68 degrees, and I'm super happy for that. And it's only going to be like 86 today. So, all right. We'll jump in the main topic. I've been looking and watching stuff, and I don't get wrapped around the axles, and I hope y'all will not get too wrapped around the axles on all the crap that's going on in the world, and we'll get to it. But I started looking at it. I mean, it's all over the news. What can you do about it is a topic for today. The biggest news story, Charlie Kirk was assassinated. What was it? It was September 10th. So he was assassinated in Utah. He was doing one of his prove me wrong things in a Utah college and was assassinated there. I'm not going to get into all the crap of whether it was, they're reporting right now. Trump was on live just a minute ago saying they got the suspect, and then there's supposedly some leaked thing from the ATF that they've got the gun, and they've got the gun in custody, and it had all kinds of transgender stuff on the gun and everything else. And it's like, I think most of this stuff is made up. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous on a lot of it. And I said before, yes, Charlie Kirk is dead. I'm not going to go into all the conspiracies about it. And notice I didn't say conspiracy theory that the CIA or whatever made up years ago. But he was assassinated. And Newman, I'm with you on that. Too many things feel like a setup to push a narrative. I agree with you on that. And then Newman is also jealous. 69 days and wake up till I'm home. That's amazing. But yeah, the Charlie Kirk thing. All these people, and then of course, anytime you have somebody that's been shot, all the Gravy Team 6 special snipers come out and talk about, well, somebody couldn't make that shot, or that was going to be an easy shot, and this and that. So you got all the Gravy Team 6 guys that were special forces snipers, and all this stuff are coming out. People that, hell, they couldn't walk a mile, much less walk a mile with a sniper rifle. And then if they actually walked a mile and got in position to shoot something, if it's over 100 yards, they're probably not going to hit it, and they probably couldn't hit a man-sized torso target at 100 yards with a precision scope. So these guys are who are on social media and everything else talking about the shot and how this guy was not a trained sniper, or this guy was a trained sniper and it was an easy shot for a trained sniper and all this other crap. It's like, don't care. Don't really care if the guy was a trained sniper or if it was some transgender shithead shooting a person. I don't really care, because it boils down to, I can't make a difference, and nothing I do about that is going to make a difference in what happened with Charlie Kirk. Also, you've got the Ukrainian refugee girl. She was like 23 or something. This happened over in Charlotte, North Carolina. The guy, I'm not even going to say his name and give him credit for it, but this guy was an absolute piece of shit, honestly. He had been numerous times in jail. It said 14 other court cases for the attacker. This guy brutally killed this young, I think she was a 23-year-old girl from Ukraine. She came over here as a refugee to escape the war in Ukraine and to have a better life. And she winds up coming from a war-torn place to seek safety in the United States, and some asshole on a train kills her, stabbed her, I think they said 3 times, and one time was into the neck, and she laid there and bled out while these other pieces of shit that sat on the subway didn't do anything. It's horrible. So, yeah, it's like what's going on? It's like I don't understand this. And Greg, bring out the multi-use wood chipper. That's exactly right. And it's funny. I had on my wood chipper shirt yesterday, and the shirt, if y'all hadn't seen it, you can pick it up on the website. It's got a wood chipper on it, and it said got wood chipper, and on the back it's just plain as day. It says compost pedophiles, and then it's got the website. I was walking into Lowe's, grabbed what I needed yesterday. I came out, and there's a boy. I'd passed him. He was walking out as I was going in. I grabbed the stuff real quick, checked out, walked back out. The same dude was there, and he goes, "I love your shirt." And I was like, "Thanks." I was like, "I appreciate it." Melanie's here. Good morning, Melanie. And I go, "I appreciate it." He goes, "Where can I get one of those?" I was like, "They're my shirts." And I said, "One of my buddy prints these in Bowling Green." And I was telling him about it. We started talking about all the child sex trafficking, all that crap that's going on. He's got a 2-year-old baby. And he was like, "My baby, it's just now going to daycare for the first time." He's like, "I'm scared to death." I talked to the guy for like 15 minutes, and we talked about all kinds of stuff. And he's like, "Dude, I'm ordering one of those shirts. As soon as I get to the truck, I'm going to pull it up and order one." And I'm like, "Cool, let's do it." So, yes, let's bring back the multi-use wood chipper. It can chip flesh, or it can chip wood, whatever you want to do. And you probably honestly don't even really need to clean it out in between chopping flesh and chopping chips. And I guess, I mean, we could talk to Russell Homestead. They're experts now in composting. You could chop a pedo up and put him in the compost pile and go to town with it. Or honestly, if you wanted to, you could feed him to the pigs. So then you just got to go pick the teeth up, from what I've heard. So, all right, the stabbing of the Ukrainian girl was horrible. People did not do anything to help her, which is crazy. On that. They just sat there and watched. And then, without getting into too much, I saw something on TikTok. It's like, what if the script was flipped and it did like a AI rendering? All the people, and there's not a lot of people talking about this, and there's not some big outrage. They flipped it around. They're like, what if it was a white person and white people on the subway and stabbed a black girl? Everybody would be up in arms. That piece of crap, whatever he is, Al Sharpton and all those kind of people, they'd be having press conferences and everything else. They'd be coming out of the woodwork to make some money off the murder of a black person, like they always do, and then don't ever pay taxes on it. But then, of course, when they get busted not paying taxes on it, they never go to jail for some reason. So if I don't pay my taxes, yes, I'm going to go to jail. But then whatever, all these reverends and all this crap get up there and make millions of bucks and don't pay taxes. But that's another rabbit hole that we'll go down sometime. So that one of the big takeaways with the Ukrainian girl, and part of it with Charlie Kirk did get shot in the neck. There's probably not much coming back from that. I watched the video once or twice, and then I'm just like, whatever, I'm not watching this thing again. But if you're shot in the neck like that, there's a very, very slim chance of coming back from that, even with immediate medical attention. Of course, we saw Kentucky ballistics a while back. The gun blew up on him. He had a neck injury and shrapnel in there. He held his finger in his neck to stop the bleeding until they got to the emergency room. He made it, but an injury like that is a very, very slim chance of survival. But as far as getting stabbed and stuff like that, the big takeaway I get from that is you're your own first responder. It is guaranteed you're going to be at 100% of your accidents. Guaranteed. Statistically, 100%. You'll be at every emergency, every personal emergency of your own. You'll be there. So you're your own first responder. And that is, not just carrying your EDC stuff. Yes, you need to have your EDC stuff. You need to have a pew-pew, a way to protect yourself. You need to have medical stuff on you at all times. Granted, I don't know where this, one time they said she was stabbed in the throat. I don't know where she was stabbed the 2 other times, but if you have medical stuff on you, you can do something. And training on that. Get training on your medical stuff. Don't just buy the stuff. Don't just buy, hell, they're all sitting over there. I'm not going to get up. Don't just buy your tourniquet and your chest seals and all the fun, cool stuff just to say you've got it. Get the training to use the stuff. Get the training for the pew pew that you've got. Get the training for the radios that you're going to buy. All that kind of stuff. But get the training. You're your own first responder. Have that stuff on you. Whether you get it from me or whether you get it from somebody else, get the stuff and learn how to use it. So that's that on that. And then Newman, don't put your kids in daycare or public school. Make the adjustments for one parent to stay home and homeschool. Yeah. My youngest one goes to a private Christian school, which is right up the road. They are amazing people. I know most all the teachers there, except for the ones in the upper school. But the private schools, you can still do that. I enjoy him going to that school. I know a bunch of the parents there. I go to church with several of the parents that have their kids there, and I find more and more every day. We were at church Wednesday, and there's a little kid running through that had a shirt on for the school. And I looked and I was like, "Did you go to that school?" And he was like, "Yeah." And then his dad walked up. I was like, "I didn't know." But I mean, the kid's in kindergarten. And I was like, "Well, that's awesome." So there's more and more of that. It's an amazing school. Let's see, Bill. In this country, we have a division problem. We're told that we're supposed to hate more than we're supposed to love. It boils down to a heart problem, and we don't try to love our fellow man. Yeah, that's spot on, Bill. Exactly. And then Newman, divided people are easier to manipulate and control. Exactly. And that is, if you can divide people, if you've got left versus right, if you've got black versus white, rich versus poor, they just keep driving the wedge in between there. And, all the poor people are like, oh my gosh, all these rich billionaires and millionaires, they're making it hard on the common man. And it's like, they just drive that wedge and stuff like that. Or, white versus black. All these people, they keep telling the black community, oh, it's all the white guy's fault. They're doing this, they're doing that. They're driving the wedge. They're holding you down and this and that. And it's like, yeah, they just want to divide you. People that come together in unity are super strong about that stuff. You're never, just like a divided house. If you and your wife are married and your wife wants to save money, if she comes to you and says, hey, we need to start putting $1,000 a month or whatever in savings. And you're like, okay, cool, honey, that's great. We'll start doing that. But then every chance you get, you're going to buy a new pew pew, or you're going to go buy this, or you're going to go buy that. And you're spend on stuff. And then she's sitting here. It's like you're buying new guns every week. You're buying this, you're buying that. And it's like, we need to start saving money. That house is divided and it's never going to work. One person is doing all of it. So yes, the divided house, and we can think of our country as a house. If we're divided, we're never going to come together and get anything done. But it would be awesome if we all came together and like, we're done with this stuff in Washington. We need to clean it up. But honestly, it's never going to happen. And Nathaniel, yes, Refuge does have some good training. And let's see, Miss Sharon, from what I saw, no one moved to help her or to hold him. The world's an evil problem. Yeah, I watched that video and people just sat there and just looked. Like, one lady didn't even hardly look over there. She just sat there. And it's like, man, and then of course you get Gravy Team 6 guys on there. Well, man, if that dude would have done that, he wouldn't have been able to do that. I'd have popped 15 or 17 rounds of 9mm hollow points through that guy and all this. And it's like, yeah, you might have, or you might have, you hadn't trained any. So you might have wound up shooting her and shooting the guy that was stabbing her and then somebody else behind him. It's like, sure, Gravy Team 6, let's do it. I know if I would have been there, I would have done what I could. I'm not going to be, oh, yeah, we're going to pump all the hollow points through this dude. Honestly, I don't know what I would have done. I would have done something besides just sit there and watch. Even if the guy ran away, I would try to have rendered aid to that young lady. I know that. Let's see. Russell Homestead. My neighbor processed a hog and gave me the carcass. The majority of the bones were processed for broth, but I did put some of the carcass in the compost pile. The bones were completely broken down and unrecognizable by day 12. So with the multi-purpose chipper, it only take a few days if the compost pile stays hot. Send me a link to that chipper. I'm interested. Yeah, and it does. Now, I threw, we had a litter of piglets a while back, and a couple of them were stillborn, and I threw those jokers in the compost pile. And I tell you what, after a few days, when you're flipping that thing, you couldn't tell what was what. So it's crazy that you can compost almost all kinds of stuff. And one of my friends has a YouTube channel, Raised Outdoors. Glenn is his name. He put a video out about 6 minutes long about the heart problem in this country. That sounds cool. All right. Let me write that down, and I will check it out. But yeah. And then, all right. There's another thing that popped up. I was looking at some news stuff and everything. Apparently, in Texas, there's an illegal alien. He was not in the country legally, from Cuba. This guy worked at a hotel. The hotel manager, he got mad at the hotel manager because the hotel manager told him something. I was reading an article. He came up and told him about the washing machine not working or something like that, and not to use it. The dude ends up getting pissed off, goes to his truck, comes into the manager's office, and proceeds to behead the guy with a machete. And then he takes the head and carries it out and throws it in the dumpster. So it's like, what the hell? The guy gets mad because the manager told him the washing machine's broke. So he goes and gets his machete and cuts the dude's head off. And I'm like, what, where does this make sense? So it's like that, that's the whole thing. Be prepared. Have a pew-pew with you on your body. Have it. Evil people need to be stopped. Period. So then, yesterday, we got to mention, yesterday was the 24th anniversary of September 11th. We still remember that. Yes, I remember exactly what I was doing on that day when it happened. I was still in college, and I was headed to my first class that morning on campus, and I heard it on the radio. When I got to school, they already had in our lounge area or our lab area where all the students hung out for our major. They had a TV going and was watching it, so we sat down and watched it. And I remember what I was doing that day, that our government took some towers down for some reason to start another war. So, but that's a rabbit hole we could go down later. And it's funny, my youngest son was studying 9/11, and he mentioned something about it. And I was like, yeah, it was an inside job. And he looked at me and he goes, what do you mean? And my wife was like, do not start. Do not start. He's going to go to school and say this. So I explained to him about how they were not teaching the exact right thing in school. And he was like, tell me more. And so I told him a little bit, and and he was like, really? And I was like, yeah. I was like, I will tell you more later on. And he's like, okay, Dad, tell me the truth on stuff. And I was like, dude, I will always tell you the truth. So, well, Nathaniel, this is going to make you sound old, but I remember in first grade, we were brought into the chapel. Yeah, I was still in college, so I'm a little bit older than you, Nathaniel, but that's fine. Bill's older than me, so it's fine. Let's see, Bill, 9/11, my eldest daughter's birthday, and she's 47 this year. Yeah, and see, I'm 47 also. I'll be 48 this coming up May. So, but yeah, we got to mention 9/11 a little bit. But what I wanted to talk about, all this stuff is going on. No one came to save that girl. Charlie Kirk's a fluke incident. Probably with the injuries he sustained, probably not going to help unless you had a team setting right there and advanced medical stuff. The hotel manager that got his head hacked off, if he would have had a way to defend himself and then some kind of medical stuff, maybe he could have made it through that. If he could have stopped the guy from cutting his head off. But let me see. Newman, I got 11 years on both of you. All right. I'm in the middle, it seems like. We got some younger people, we got some older people in here, and then I'm kind of stuck in the middle, which I'm fine with that. So, but it's, what can we do about it? A lot of people sit there, and I know one person, and Bill's 66 this year, but I know one person in particular, they have sat at the computer since the Charlie Kirk thing, and they have been, quote, analyzing the video and looking at all these people that are tweeting and doing all this stuff and looking, and they have come up there like, oh, we're just watching a movie. This is all a conspiracy, this and that. And like literally have spent hours sitting on the computer looking at this stuff, going over, quote, stuff from their people and everything and all their intel that they're getting. And I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, what in the hell does this prove? If it was a conspiracy and, there's nefarious stuff going on and it's really not what it seems, what difference is it going to make in your life? I was also talking to somebody yesterday about that. And I said, and she was like, yeah, I knew it was going on. But then, my husband was like all in a tizzy about it and everything. It's like, you don't know what's going on in the world. And I told her, I'm like, hey, did you put your kids to bed the same way as you did, last night as you did, before Charlie Kirk got shot? And she goes, yeah. So that's all that matters. I said, I put my son to bed the same way. Every night we put him to bed the same way. Yes, people die all the time. And it's like, what I'm getting at is stuff that's going on, that stuff that's going on, Israel and Gaza, all that stuff, Ukraine, everything like that, all the bullshit that's going on in Washington, D.C., I can't do a damn thing about it. No matter what I do, I could get up here and make a video. It could go viral. It's not going to change anything. So it's like people get wrapped around the axles about that, worrying, sitting there watching on the computer all the time. You should take all those hours that people are screwing around on the computer, looking at it and analyzing video and all this other bullshit that they're doing. You should take that time to go out there like Russell Homestead's doing, building a butchering kitchen. Go out there, build a greenhouse. Go out there, start your compost pile. John, good morning. Glad to have you here. Go out there, start a new compost pile. Go out there. We're getting into tree season where we can start planting some trees. Go get you some trees, plant some trees. Go out there, do something that's going to matter on your property and matter for your family, and do the things. Do that. I don't get wrapped around the axles. You need to look, if you want to have some influence in other people and influence in your area, look 20 to 30 miles around. That's where you can have influence. And it's like I was talking to the same person about the Charlie Kirk thing and putting their kids to bed. I was like, hey, there's starving kids in Africa. Yes, we could donate some money to some kind of 501c3 and, the kids might see 10 cents on the dollar of what we donate. But there's kids right across in a trailer park from our church in Woodburn, where I go to church, that are probably hungry and could use some food. You think we could take that money that we're going to donate to one of these things where the kids are going to see 10 cents on the dollar in some foreign country? We could take every bit of that money and go to Walmart and buy food for those kids and make sure they had food sitting there. And she's like, hey, I totally agree. I was like, so that 20 to 30 miles around your house and around your area of operation, you can have influence in that area as opposed to, worrying about what's going on in Ukraine. I honestly could give a shit less of what's going on in Ukraine because all this stuff is staged. Other people are pulling the strings. It's just stupid to worry about all this stuff. I worry about the 20 to 30 miles around my house and the people that are in that because I can have influence in that, and don't get wrapped around the axles on all the other stuff. That's what they want. The people that are pulling the strings on all this are they want you in a constant state of worry. They want you in a constant state of worry about stuff. Oh my gosh, I've got to get to work. I've got to make that money so I can make the house payment, so I can make the car payment, so I can do all this stuff. Keep you on the hamster wheel of all this, of staying on the hamster wheel, and you don't know what's going on. You're just worried about getting to work, and then you're worried about, oh my gosh, Trump is live on TV talking about Charlie Kirk, or oh my gosh, Putin did this in Ukraine, and then there's a bunch of transgender people doing this and that and all this stuff. So it's like they want to keep you totally confused and all that stuff. Don't get wrapped around the axles on what's going on and all this crazy stuff, because a lot of the stuff is planned, and stupidity is what it is, just to keep you worried. Worry about what your neighbor's doing. You know, Bill knows his neighbors. Bill knows what's going on with that neighbor that's moving. Michael Hamilton, good morning. Glad to have you here. Bill knows exactly what's going on with his neighbor. She's moving. He's got a relationship with her. She's going to give him a bunch of stuff. So, and the chat has been going. Let's see. And Bill's 66 this year is what he said. Nathaniel, doesn't matter the age, be prepared. Exactly. I mean, I don't care if you're 16 or if you're 70 or 80 years old. Get prepared. Do what you can. Bill says, only as old as I feel. Sometimes I think I'm 90. Hey, I did concrete for years, Bill, and yes, I feel like I'm 90 sometimes. Dental is, I'm 60, almost 61. Be more aware of your surroundings, for one thing. Exactly. And then Newman, more people need to speak the truth. Don't let our government or anyone manipulate the narrative for their convenience and purposes. Yeah, exactly. And I talked to one of my other friends. It's Jacob Peterson. He owns Exodus Knife and Tool. Jake, you're a super guy. He lives in the next county up. He was kind of like, let this play out and watch and see who profits from the death of Charlie Kirk. That will tell you a lot. So if you really look at it, look at that and see when stuff like this happens, see who profits from this and see what the narrative they're going to push. That will tell you a lot of what's going on. And Miss Sharon, yeah, we will never know all the truth for sure. And then John, thanks for catching the replay this afternoon. I appreciate it, John. And Bill, I don't believe there's any such thing as uncensored news. It's all about ratings and money. Yeah, exactly. I mean, ratings and money. I mean, what do they say? If it bleeds, it leads kind of thing. That's 100% true. And Miss Sharon, yes, I've been saying that since I was 12 years old. Newman, 100% agree. Local action equals national impact, to borrow that from General Flynn. Yeah, I mean, do what you can. I mean, do all the stuff in your own place. I mean, you've got the area, you're more influential. I can have a lot more influence with my neighbor and talking to them about stuff. You know, go over there and talk to them. Maybe talk to them about being a little bit more prepared. You know, it's like, hey, you know, we might run out of food one day. How much food do you have in there? And talk to them about that. And then Miss Sharon, if churches did what they're supposed to do, we wouldn't need DSS, food stamps, etc. Yeah, and it used to be. I don't necessarily remember that time, but it used to be when a church member would fall on hard times, they wouldn't go get food stamps or EBT. The church members would help them out. If somebody lost a job, they would go and it's like, hey, what do you need? We can help you. But think about it. If our taxes went way down, I mean, you're working, what is it, a third of the year to pay your taxes. So think about it. If we didn't have to work that third of a year, and if you weren't paying, 25, 30, 40% in taxes every year of what you make, we could take that money and we could help people that way. I would so much rather take what I pay the federal government every year, and I'm self-employed. I've got 2 businesses. I'm self-employed. I pay my taxes. You know, we do that, and I see, and it makes me sick to my stomach when I have to write a check for the taxes. I was like, I would much rather give this money to needy people and people that need it, and something that I can go and do. I can find that person, or I can find that group that is doing what they're supposed to be doing with this and not taking 90% or 90 cents of every dollar for people's salaries and crap like that, or do it myself. Find that needy family. And it's like, hey, here's $1,000. Let's go to Sam's and get you a bunch of food. Or hey, you need your roof fixed. Come on, let's run to Lowe's and we'll get the materials and we'll do this thing. So I would much rather do that, and that's what the churches used to do. But everybody's so strapped and they just keep screwing you on taxes. It's like, hey, I don't have any extra money to give to church. So that, and then also if you were donating your money and giving your money, you're not going to pay for all this crap that you don't believe in. So there's a lot of programs in the government that you're getting where you have to essentially extorted to pay for. So let's see. And Newman. If every one of us did the things to be maximally self-sufficient and build community with our neighbors, think how ungovernable we'd be by the central government. Exactly. And I mean, that's the whole thing. Become ungovernable. And the more sustainable and self-sufficient you can and get more of your neighbors, the less that you're going to need. It's like, I don't need nothing from the government. I need the government to protect the borders and maintain the roads. Other than that, I'm kind of good. I can police myself. I know right and wrong. I know if I can drive 65 miles an hour down a road and be safe, I don't need them telling me all kinds of crap. Honestly, I can protect myself. So stay armed, have medical supplies on you, protect yourself. I don't need somebody. I don't call the police when there's a problem. Granted, I don't have a lot of problems, but I'm not going to call the police when there's a problem. We're going to call 811 instead of 911. If y'all know what 811 is, let me know in the chat. Then Bill says, I know all of my neighbors. I want to know both the good and the bad people close to me. Exactly. You've got to know all your neighbors. I know everybody down my street except for one lady and her husband, and I need to talk to them. It's just like I never get a chance to do it. Then Newman, that was the role of the church and community. Forsake not the widow or the orphan. Centralized government inserted that into the role, again, to control the people. Exactly. And then they take your money, and then they get to decide who gets it. And it's your money, and you don't get to decide who gets it. That's why I like doing it. It's my money. I'm going to figure out and decide who gets it. And Miss Sharon, I fully remember our church having what they called a pounding for people in the community during hard times. We took food and paper goods. Exactly. I mean, that's what needs to happen again. And then, exactly, we cleaned houses, cleaned yards, fixed cars, babysat for ones in the hospital or too sick to care for their kids. Yeah. And that, Newman, we're on the same page. Small governments protect our country from foreign invaders. Well, I want the government to pave the roads and make the roads look good. That's one of the big things that I would like to have, honestly. But yeah, essentially, that is protect us from foreign invaders. I don't need the government making stupid laws that they want me to follow, and I'm not going to follow unjust laws. All kinds of stuff. Selling animals, selling meat, doing stuff like that. Yeah, we'll do it under the table, and it's whatever. I think it's stupid. And there's a guy, go check out Billy Bond on the Permaculture Pimpcast. He interviewed a guy at Triple Oaks Farms. This guy is getting into a major legal deal about selling raw milk. And like the government wants to shut him down. So go check that out. I watched it yesterday, and it's like, these are totally unjust laws. I mean, you're going to get, if I went out there and I got caught selling pot to somebody, I would do less time and get less in trouble legally than if I was selling raw milk. Think about that. I will get in more trouble selling raw milk off my farm than I will selling pot to somebody or cocaine, whatever. It's like, it's totally backwards. I don't understand it. Last I checked, raw milk was not a controlled substance, but they treat it like, oh my gosh, it's a controlled substance. Think about that. And then also, I tell you what, I would get in more trouble for not paying my taxes than I would for murdering somebody. I can guarantee that. And it's always been a joke. One of my buddies has always told me, he's like, man, he said, if I ever get audited by the IRS and I get in IRS trouble with IRS, I'm going to go kill somebody because I'll get less time for murder than not paying my taxes. And we laugh about that. And Greg S. Only takes 20 minutes to put tobacco on. Okay. I would like to have a backhoe attachment for something. I tell you, I'd really like to have a mini excavator, but I just don't have the need for a mini excavator anymore. So one of these days I'll buy one though. And Bill Warner, I just heard from my wife that the National Guard is being sent to Memphis for law enforcement. They need to send, I don't know, they need to send the Marines into Memphis and just clean Memphis up. Either that or get everybody out and just burn the thing to the ground and start over. I've got a Memphis story I can tell you later on. And then Newman, love some Billy Bonds. Yes, exactly. And can anyone help me understand why our military is now being used to enforce local laws? One, because the liberal governments, you know, the liberal governors and mayors and all that of these cities and states are not enforcing the laws. So Trump's trying to do something. I don't personally agree with it, but it's one of those things. It's one of those things we can't do too much about it. So stick with your neighbors, figure it out with your neighbors. I'm not saying vigilante justice or anything, but if there's not a lot of shit going on in your place, there's not a lot of reason for the military to come in there. Pasteurized big ag dairy milk is nutritionally deficient. Again, shut down small farms and home farms to control the food supply. Control the food supply, control the people. Exactly. So, guys, let me see. It will not matter if it's military or local. The judges will set them free. Yeah, exactly. We need to oust some of these judges. I mean, guys, we're coming up on an hour. What I wanted to tell y'all about this, and the big thing is, look at what's going on in the world. Look at the news. Spend 5 or 10 minutes glancing at the news just so you'll know some stuff that's going on. But spend the majority of your time figuring out what's going on 15, 20, 30 miles from your house. That's where you're going to have the most influence. That's the stuff that's going to affect you more than what's going on in Russia or what's going on in Israel. Geez, somebody dropped something upstairs. That's going to go a lot farther of what's going on in your life. It's going to affect you more. Don't get wrapped around the axles. Don't be one of these guys that sits on the computer 4 hours analyzing footage of somebody getting shot or somebody getting stabbed. Look at it, be like, oh my gosh, this girl got stabbed. How could I be better prepared to help myself or help my family in a situation like that? You should have your everyday carry pew-pew. You should have medical supplies on your person and know how to use those things. That's what I wanted to talk about today. Don't get wrapped around the axles on all the other crap. Take care of yourself, and once you and your family are taken care of, then talk to your neighbors about all the stuff. That's what I wanted to talk about today. And then we'll hit this from Newman. National Guard can be activated in a law enforcement role when invited by the state. Marines are under direct control of the president. Designating the cartels as terrorists opens up the use of the military. Yeah, hey, they should have done that a long time ago with the cartels and went in there and just annihilated those. But you got to watch. If you go in there and annihilate the cartels, you might kill some of the CIA agents that are helping them with stuff. Another little rabbit hole. Bill says, I'm simply trying to make my immediate neighbors form a community. That's spot on. That's one of the comments of the day. Your immediate neighbors form the community. And then once you've got that, go on out. Get your neighbors a little bit farther away to do that. So, guys, I've got things to do today. I've got to pack up a few orders, but first I've got to run, pick out some cabinets with my brother and do a little painting, and then I'm going to come back here and pack some orders and stuff like that. Play with the website a little bit more. Yeah, guys, go check out the website. I redid some things on the website to make it a little bit cooler looking. I did that a couple of days ago. But guys, I appreciate all of you. If you need anything, jump on the website, order it. We'll ship it out this weekend. If you got any questions, shoot me an email and we'll talk about it. But guys, I appreciate every one of you being in here, and I will see y'all on Tuesday morning. I appreciate it.